And welcome to another episode of On the Record. I'm your host, Michael Stalk. We're continuing our coverage with the elections. I guess the end of it. You know, for the last couple of months, we've been speaking about the elections. We've been speaking to current council who had run for the elections. All the issues as far as Jesse Gilbert is concerned, the Keith Myiow situation. Some of you have been following it, you know, what's going on next and how things are working out. What's the next step? Where are we from here? How's the court system working now? Everything is, I don't know, I guess coming to an end or coming to a beginning, however you want to look at it. Today is September 30th, Wednesday. We have back in studio Keith Myiow, who on Friday, September 25th, signed an agreement with the Mohawk Council. It's 5 pages long. I don't want to read the whole thing, but we'll speak about it and we'll go through some of the areas. It was a settlement from the second time that he was dismissed from the Mohawk Council, as well as when he had put in an injunction as far as the elections were concerned when he was running for Grand Chief. So good afternoon, Keith.
How you doing?
I hope this is the end of the road, unless, I guess, the system or the Mohawk Council decides to throw us into another bucket or a barrel somewhere.
Yeah, you got a point there.
How did we get to the end? I mean, a lot of people speculated that one, it shouldn't have been gone to where it had, and it should have ended, and it should never have ended up where it is. But regardless of all the negative or the positives, we come to MCK making an agreement, which is one. And two, making it public. Because every other agreement that I know about in the past, Mohawk Council's always hidden behind a confidentiality clause. How were you able to get them to at least acknowledge some of the things that they had done shouldn't have happened in the first place?
Well, I had a good battery of lawyers, which cost a hell of a lot of money. Approximately everything altogether, legal fees, court costs, you name it, everything in between, came to $366,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the final settlement, how pathetic it is, came to $135,000. So you do the math, that's $231,000 that I'm in the hole.
Is there any parts of this agreement that aren't on paper in this terms of reference? There's no addendum or side agreement that was done? As far as lawyers' fees or anything else?
As far as lawyers' fees, everything, I took care of them up to date. I had a lot of help from community members that came forward. I was running around trying to pay off as many as I can. I'll be going down to Manhattan in the next little bit to get my annuity out to pay off those people who did, in fact, take money out of their own pockets. There was people that gave $40,000, $45,000, $10,000, $7,000, $5 here, $5 there, $2,500. You know, people did what they could to help out. Some people gave me $200.
I understand that part, that, you know, it was an expensive venture and it did, but normally in any agreement or settlement through the MCK, because it comes out of their insurances. So for the most part anyway, was there something to say that, okay, yes, we're agreeing to this and we're going to cover your court costs?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
No. How did we get to this point? I mean, the last time we spoke, it was in federal court. There was an injunction on the election process, Lindsay LeBarn and everything else, and it was coming to, I guess, a trial, and then all of a sudden we went to mediation. I guess you agreed to mediation opposed to making a judge, having the federal court make a decision. In his initial decision or judgment that he had made as far as granting the injunction, you know, it wasn't a good thing for the community. It said that our court had no jurisdiction. It had no right to be hearing any of this. I mean, it made a lot of stipulations as far as the impartiality of the court in Ganawage and everything else like that. Was that a deciding factor in having this document signed, maybe not by you, but by the Mohawk Council itself, so that if it didn't go through mediation this way, that the federal court would have made a decision, one, by having, I guess, the contempt of court for Lindsay, by not allowing you to run, and saying that he's going to take a stand and do that, as well as maybe making a decision at the end of the day saying that, well, your system has to be changed and this is the reasons for it, and then hurt the electoral system as well as maybe the membership?
There's a lot of things that have transpired in this case. With the election taking place and so on, my lawyers had to act rather quickly. The judge's renderance on June 30th, which ruled he simply stated he agrees entirely with the applicant, who is myself, and that there are serious matters to be tried. That should be a wake-up call to all the Kahnawake, or anyone who's involved with law or curious about different elements such as this. Mind you, in order to really answer your question, we have to back up a little bit and address all the other cases. Just topographically speaking, how many settlements have been out there with your case, with Danny Lahash, with all these others? No one heard anything other than rumbling in the background. Council was never held accountable for all those items.